Hi, this video will look at both normal goods and inferior goods and what their corresponding income consumption curve looks like. Recall the definition of a normal good. As your income goes up, you buy more of these goods. Most goods are normal. Therefore, they have an income elasticity which is positive. There's also inferior goods. These goods you buy less of as your income rises. So the income elasticity of demand estimate is negative. Let's go to a graph of the income consumption curve. So in this graph, the blue line represents our budget. The pink line represents our preferences or indifference curve. As your budget expands, your income increases, then should your next bundle for the optimal be at point B, let's say, that would suggest that as your income rises, you're buying both more housing and more food. Therefore, food and housing would both be considered normal. This is the case of an income consumption curve that is expanding with a positive slope. Now, what if it's not a positive slope? What if the income consumption curve is negative? Consider the case where you start initially, again, at point E, but maybe now you end up with the optimal bundle being at point A. In such a scenario, this suggests that as your income goes up, you buy a lot more housing and you buy a little less food. In this case, food would be considered an inferior good since at higher incomes you're buying less food, and housing would be a normal good. You're buying more housing at higher income levels. So a negative income consumption curve would suggest a inferior good for one of the two goods. Here's another way that it could be negative. We move from point E to the next best bundle being point C at the higher income level. In such a scenario here, as your income goes up, you're buying more food. As your income goes up, you're buying less housing. So in this case, if we end up at point C with an income consumption curve that's negative, then this would suggest that food's your normal good and housing is your inferior good. So to summarize, an income consumption curve which is positive slope, both goods are considered normal. An income consumption curve that has a negative slope, one of the goods is considered to be inferior. Inferior goods, at higher incomes you buy less of. Normal goods, at higher incomes you buy more of.